That is actually, this scene is one of the bloodiest, goriest scenes I've ever written. Lord Loss is, I think overall it's a positive book. It's a book about dealing with grief. It's about when, no matter how bad things get in life, even if you lose the people closest to you, each one of us can find the strength and courage within ourselves to push on, to start to build a new life, to bounce back from whatever life throws at us. So that's sort of the overriding message that comes through throughout the book. It's about a boy whose world descends into chaos and about how he starts putting that back together. But the scene I'm going to read out comes from very early on, and it's when everything goes horribly, horrifically, tragically wrong for Grubs Grady. From the backyard, I spot a chink of light in Mum and Dad's bedroom where the curtains just fell to meet. I creep up to the back door, crouch, poke the dog flap open, and listen for sounds. There aren't any. I fish under a stone to the left of the door and locate the spare key. I enter. The kitchen is unnaturally cold. I creep to the hall door and stop, again listening for sounds, but it's silent. Leaving the kitchen, I check the TV room, the front room, and Dad's study. They're all empty and all as cold as the kitchen. Coming out of the study, I notice something strange. There's a chessboard in one corner. It's carved out of marble, 4 inches thick. I played a game with Dad on its smooth surface just a few days ago. But now that surface is scarred with deep, ugly gouges. They look like fingernail scratches. But no human could drag their nails through solid marble. I climb the stairs. I'm sweating nervously, fingers clenched tight. Part of me wants to turn and run. I shouldn't be here. I don't need to be here. Nobody would know if I backed up and ran away. But then I think of Gret. I'm not going to leave her alone with Mum and Dad to face whatever trouble they're in. We're a family. Dad has always said families should pull together and fight as a team. I want to be part of this. Even though I don't know what this is. Even though this terrifies me senseless. The landing. Not as cold as downstairs. I try my bedroom, then Gret's. They're both empty and both very, very warm. I edge closer to Mum and Dad's room. Gret likes to call me a coward when she wants to hurt me. I used to think she might be right, but each step I take towards my parents' bedroom proves to my surprise that she was wrong. The door feels red hot when I reach it, as though a fire is burning behind it. I press near to the wood, but there's no crackle of flames, just deep, heavy breathing, and a curious dripping sound. My hands on the doorknob, my fingers won't move. I keep my ear pressed to the wood, waiting, praying. A tear trickles from my left eye and dries on my cheek from the heat. Inside the room, somebody giggles, low, throaty, sadistic. There's a ripping sound, followed by snaps and crunches. My hand turns. The door opens. Hell is revealed. Blood everywhere. Nightmarish splashes and gory puddles, wild streaks across the floor and walls. Except the walls are no longer walls. I'm surrounded on all 4 sides by cobwebs. Millions of thick, sticky strands, many stained with blood. My eyes snap from the webby surroundings and I locate the source of the curious dripping sound. It's coming from a body hanging upside down from the ceiling. The head has been chopped off and blood drips to the floor from the gaping red O of the neck. But even without the head, I recognise him instantly and scream his name out loud. Dad! That's always my favourite moment. When I sent that scene in to my publishers in the UK, they were horrified. They read that scene, the original draft of it, and they said, yeah, we can't do this for a teenage audience. It's too much. You've gone too far. You're going to have to go back and change it. So I said, fine. No worries. I only changed one thing. In the original draft, when Grubbs walks into the room and the body is hanging upside down in front of him with the head chopped off, it was his mother. I switched it to the father, and they were absolutely fine. Oh, that's perfect. I'm very conscious when I write my books. You know, the Lord Lost scene that I wrote, that I read out there today, I love reading out that scene. It's a really fun one to read out. But yeah, that is the goriest scene of the entire book. You know, if you come into the book expecting every chapter to be like that, it's not the case. And I think you would get tired of my books very quickly if that was the case. Gore is only effective when used sparingly. It has to be there for heightened moments. But if all a book has is one gory scene after another, you're going to get bored of that within a few chapters. For me, it's always about the connections between the characters, relationships between them. That's what drives the books forwards. That's what keeps us reading, that's what keeps us interested. And then the scenes like that one in Lord Lost, they're just the icing on the cake for those of us who like the horror icing.
In the Cirque du Freak series #1, the introduction, you said that everything in the series was true. I would like to know if it was actually true.
Well, of course, if you read to book 12, it does explain that it could be true. So I always like to be very coy when it comes to that answer, and I always say, it's down to you. If you want it to be true, it can be. If not, that's fine too. But I never say yes or no to that one.
Why did you choose your own name for the saga of Darren Shan?
Why did I choose my own name? Well, because it was all a true story.